It's time to start round 2, everyone, but before we head to the next location for the second challenge, you guys first get the chance to shop for items. Don't worry, you'll get the chance every round to buy and use items before the challenge. Let's take a look at what they bought. Ooh, Grondo bought and used a trick. Now the trick item can force me to say anything the user wants. Grondo forced me to make an announcement that I'm their father. A great psychological mind trick to psych out the players. Devlo did the same and forced me to make it look like Azim made a public announcement asking for nobody to make an alliance with them. Oh, I forgot to mention, at any time the players are allowed to make public announcements that every player will see. We'll check some of those out later. Next up, Amp, Turtle, and Link all bought shields. When used, shields prevent any item used on the user from affecting them, so they're great at protecting players from being stabbed. Max and JMO both purchased a Luigi clone. Now, I know I lied to you guys about a lot of things, but if one thing's for sure, it's that I am I am only a clone of that evil little Luigi guy from last season. My name's irrelevant. The point is, there are other clones like me, and if you purchase one, you'll get a special advantage in an upcoming challenge when you use it. Finally, Tristan bought the fair game item, which stops the use of any challenge items in a challenge. What are challenge items? You'll see. First, we need to look at the public announcements everybody made. Syph announced, "Hello everyone, the name's Cypherian. This is my first time in a Little Luigi game show, so I'm completely expecting to lose all 3 lives in the first challenge. This climbing challenge seems simple enough, but it all comes down to chance, I think." These announced, "Me want alliance. I'm sure that'll persuade someone to ally with them." Inside announced, "I'm low-key lost in what I should or should not be doing in general, so basically I'm scared for my life." Noel West announced, "Hey everyone, I can't wait to start Sand Season 2. If anyone wants to be in an alliance with me, just ask." As you can see, these players are desperate to form alliances with anyone they can. They know if they find themselves alone, they'll be quick to perish. I think it's important to see the leaderboard for this challenge, not only to see how everyone is doing, but also to see each player's unique target. Here is the leaderboard. Players at the top have more lives and sand dollars, while currently players at the bottom have been penalized for being AFK. By the way, I accidentally missed 2 private confessionals last time, so let's go back and see them. Tristan secretly said that the solid rock may have been their downfall, but they will rise back up and have Evan be taken out immediately. Wait, what? Max secretly told me the veterans' glitching intrigues them, and now that they've seen it get rid of one of their hard-earned sand dollars, they wonder what else will happen. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, but let's just get to our next location quick. Welcome to the Wild West. I've split you all into 4 teams of different colors. Before anything happens, each team needs to assign themselves a bounty of 1, 3, 7, or 12 sand dollars. Then your teams will need to choose another team to shoot with this gun. That's right, you'll get to shoot and assassinate a team of your choice to get their bounty. Don't worry though, each team also gets to make a prediction of another team's shot. If they guess correctly, they'll be able to dodge the bullet even if they didn't predict themselves being shot. If a team is actually shot, they'll have all their members lose a life, and the team that shot them will get their bounty. I'm only going to allow one team to be shot though, so if multiple teams do get shot, then I'll choose the team with the lowest bounty to die. Oh, and there are now challenge items the players can buy during this challenge. Challenge items are items the players can only buy during a certain challenge. They can be used instantly. For example, the one challenge item for this challenge is dibs. You could use it to make your team have first dibs on which bounty they chose. There's also an extra challenge items each challenge that can only be used if you use the Luigi clone. It's time for our first casualty, but first, let's see how the teams pick their own bounties. Emerald and Angel both tell their team, Yellow, that they shouldn't pick the $12 bounty because it makes them a target, as people will want to get the high bounty by shooting them. In the red team's secret chat, Syph thinks their team should pick the $12 bounty, so they'll win any ties by having the highest bounty. I should mention that if multiple teams shoot the same person, the team with the highest bounty is the only team that'll receive the bounty. Max realizes if their team, Blue, picks the $7 bounty while they shoot the $12 bounty team, then they'll still win any tie against other teams shooting them, since the 12 team can't shoot themselves. Brizzle tells the same thing to their team Green, but some people end up still wanting the highest bounty. Then the bounties were set in stone. The blue team got first pick and chose the $7 bounty because of Max's reasoning. The yellow team picked next and chose the $3 bounty because they didn't want to be targeted for having a high bounty, but also didn't want the lowest bounty. The green team were forced to pick the $12 bounty since blue took the $7 one. That means the red team was stuck with the $1 bounty. Now for the teams to choose who to shoot and predict another team's shot. First, Tristan notices everyone in their Tomato Town alliance is on a different team. They decide to target the yellow team, which none of them are in. Meanwhile, the betas realizes the only team they're not in is red, so they should try to target them. In the confessional room, Brizzle told me that the betas alliance is already starting out really strong. They're glad that they have an enemy team who doesn't have any of them in it, but unfortunately, Brayden from their Weaves alliance is in that red team and they'll have to take the hit. Tristan tries convincing their team, blue, to shoot yellow because it's a color that doesn't pop. They also say that they know players from the red and green team who have targets in yellow. This is a lie. However, Max falsely claims they heard that every other team is shooting red, so they should just go along with everyone to be safe. Max tells the Betas Alliance that Tristan is claiming people from the green team want to shoot yellow. Chicken, who is from that team, confirms this is false. Max then goes on to falsely tell their team that 4 people from the green team said they were going to attack red. This convinces their team to shoot red. Tristan goes and tells Tomato Town that their team is definitely shooting red, so he tells Evan, who's on that team, to tell their team to predict the shot in order to save themselves. Evan does exactly that and everyone ignores him. Meanwhile, Max tells Gibbs, in the very trustworthy alliance, that there's a guy on his team that said green was going to attack yellow. That guy is Tristan. They also said that it looks like every team is shooting red, so they should do it too. Gibb then goes on to tell the green team this. However, they think that the team should attack another team instead. Ruby, who's from the Tomato Town, joins in to say they should attack yellow instead. Gibb then starts thinking there's a spy in their team. Gibb then shares with the team what Max told him in the very trustworthy alliance and is suspicious of Ruby. Masterrock 9 joins in and says they shouldn't shoot red at all because if everybody shoots red, then red will easily be able to predict that and they'll be totally safe. They also suspect that Zap is the spy since he's been leaking information in the past seasons as well. Meanwhile, Zap is AFK. Some of the green team members are persuaded by Masterrock's genius plan and want to shoot the blue team to get the highest bounty instead of red. Masterrock then tries to make a deal with Max privately to have both of their teams predict that they shoot each other and then actually do it so that they become 100% safe and dodge each other's bullets. Max doesn't want to do it because he really wants to shoot red though. They try convincing Masterrock that everybody shooting the red team while predicting that red will shoot them is the best option, and Masterrock is convinced. Masterrock tells everyone in their team and the members are convinced to shoot red instead. Meanwhile, red is completely clueless as to what's going on and becomes very quiet. Once again, Evan tries to warn the red team that blue is going to shoot them, but no one cares. Rumors start spreading around that all the teams are planning to shoot red. Andrew tells Devilo in a secret alliance that everybody's shooting red, and JMO tells Link the same thing in their secret alliance. Not to mention Max saying it in the very trustworthy alliance. The red team starts to realize they're being shot at, so they get their team to predict either green or blue to shoot them. Max now knows for certain that green is shooting red, so as long as they predict red or yellow shooting them correctly, they'll be safe from Eddie's shots. Tristan argues that they should shoot green since they know that they're not predicting it. John agrees and yells at everyone to shoot green instead of red. Omelette, who's in the blue team, tells the Weaves that the blue team is now choosing to shoot the green team since they know Brizzle's on that team. Max tells the Betas the same thing to warn Brizzle. So Brizzle pings everyone in the green team and says to predict that blue will shoot them. Max goes to tell the blue team that uh-oh, someone spilled the beans and now green team knows about their plan. Meanwhile, Link suggests that the red team should fake accidentally saying they're going to shoot the blue team in public. Azim doesn't, and they decide to shoot green instead to get a higher bounty. Tristan then makes an alliance with Max and Omelette, who are also on the blue team. They all decide to bluff and say that they're not shooting the green team in their chat while actually doing so. That way anybody leaking the information in that chat has no idea. Except he told us of the 2 people that were letting out the information. But Max goes along with it and tells Brizzle that the blue team is now shooting red again. And then, oh, time's up. It's time for the showdown. Which team was able to predict correctly and which unlucky one will get shot? Make a prediction in the comments below. I'm curious to see your guesses. The green team went with the shoot red plan and indeed shot them. However, the blue and yellow team thought red would easily predict that teams were shooting them and they both went for the highest bounty, green. Finally, the red team shot the yellow team because their bounty was the lowest out of all the teams they could shoot. They realized that their shot would take precedence if the other teams went for higher bounties because of the tie rule. The red team predicted that green would shoot them, and they were correct, so they're saved from green's bullet. The green team predicted that red would shoot them, and they were incorrect. They're not doomed yet though. If the yellow team is successfully shot, they'll take the bullet instead since they have a lower bounty. Well, let's see. The yellow team predicted blue would shoot red, and they were wrong because blue didn't go with the plan. They are successfully shot by red of all teams. All the players on the yellow team lose a life. All players on the red team receive their bounty of 3 sand dollars. The red team was actually the only team who ended up predicting his shot correctly. The blue and yellow team were so paranoid that they stopped predicting red would shoot them, giving red all the power. The Beta's alliance ended up not getting what they wanted, while the Tomato Town were able to save their alliance members. Ah, wasn't that fun. Well, let's all go back to the helicopter so we can discuss what happened together. In the confessional room, Max said that they feel awful. They did want to shoot red, but they couldn't stop their own team. They didn't want to push their luck and stop when they already seemed bossy. They said that they're sorry for lying to the green team. Well, sorry doesn't stop the emotional damage that the green team took from this. Max told the trustworthy alliance that Inside has clearly been untrustworthy, so they should remove him from the alliance, and they did. Azim and Legendary revealed to every player that red team predicted blue shooting green and were correct. Masterrock 9 asked Max why they lied to them about blue shooting red instead of green. They apologized for lying to Masterrock, but Masterrock still thinks Max is cringe. Alright, now let's go to the confessional room to see what players are thinking now. Max Fecto said exactly, I need to keep my eye on Tristan. Seeing the way they immediately assumed I was being passive-aggressive while I was trying to ensure our team is safe makes me fear that we'll have another Andrew case in our hands in the future. I feel ashamed. Challenge 2 and I'm already lying and micromanaging all over the place. On another note, I should watch out for Inside. I was wrong about Tristan, he was just having a bad day. But I think Inside really has ulterior motives if he was able to portray his own team despite the risk. Grizzle said they're not sure if they want to tell the Betas about their Weebs alliance. They said they want to keep their cards close to their chest. They're hoping that they and Angel can guide both the Weebs and the Betas to their shared goals during challenges so they can have control over the game. They also said it'll put them in a good position if they ever need to betray one side. Omelette told me that Weebs is their primary alliance, and they'll try to stick with them as much as possible. They said they're gonna team up with Max, and they'll rely on Brizzle if anything goes wrong with the Weebs. Meme tells me that they're thinking about stabbing themselves just so they don't seem like a threat on the leaderboard. Genius. In other news, some of the players keep complaining about losing sand dollars and not being able to carry items or something. They're probably just going insane from the challenges though, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. Well, our next challenge is going to be pretty intense, so don't forget to watch what happens in part 3 of Sand Season 2. And as always, you can subscribe to support game shows like this one. Bye! Thanks Angel, Brizzle, Chicken, Andrew, Max, and Omelette for supporting me on Patreon.